Alright, hello everyone. Oh, let me put the disclosure. Alright, good morning everyone. So, today I'm going to be... Wait a minute, I need to mute. Alright, I'm back. We have about 9 minutes until 9:30 opens up. So I just kind of want to go quickly over what the plan is for this stream. So first I want to trade. But our NFP has opened up and ran higher. I'm not really too excited about obviously looking for longs. I mean, my bias, I don't really have a bias right now. We did start to go lower after hitting this buy side liquidity. And you know what's funny is the whole day I kept saying when we hit it at 8, or I kept saying that like it just wicked up there way too quickly. It needs to go back up there, and it did. And I kept trying to buy it when it dropped, but it spent like a whole hour moving sideways, and it even came back one more time. It was very, very ugly yesterday. And again, that is because today we have unemployment rates that came out at 8:30, and oftentimes ahead of those days, price is inefficient, and you kind of get a hint to that when you have this huge London range, and you know that creates a lot of, in my opinion, that created a lot of choppy price action. I was really cheesy. I taken this trade, got stopped out. If I initially my stop could have been at the lowest, but that was a very wide stop. So I anchored it to this low instead at 9.58, and then we got raped. So it is what it is. But there was a lot of setups during London, apparently, is what I was told. So while we wait for the market to kind of move around, that's what we're gonna do while we wait for the market to move around. Just give me one sec. What in the fuck? Alright. Anyway, sorry. I got distracted. Oh, yeah. No, I didn't even do what I wanted to do. I need to text someone because there's this guy who bought an option to tell him when to sell it. Actually, let me just take a look at that real quick. So he bought Shopify option, a call. And I told... So it's the TSX one. Yeah, his strike price is 148. So he's kind of out of the money right now, but oh well. We'll see where it opens up. But I mean, yeah. Just tell him good morning. He's waiting on me to tell him when to sell because his option expires today. Alright. Anyways. Yeah, we've really just been trending. So right away, like, I'm not going to trade. I'm not going to trade at all today. There's only just been a trend. I'm going to do a lot of backtesting though. So, yeah, that's what I'll be focusing on. First, I want to start with the London session. I'll quickly look at the 9:30 open and see what's happening. It seems like there's a sweep here, a 15-minute sweep. And then relative equal lows. We definitely can go lower and attack some of these. It's just that I don't want to do it after the whole day's been trending. That is one of my rules. If I can pull my rules up. Yeah, don't trade after large range trend days or sessions. So we're not gonna trade today. We're still gonna observe it. It's important. And then I'm gonna just quickly backtest the London session because I saw one of my friends said there was like 5 setups during London. But let me just start trading at 3 a.m. Mark that out. That's when London opens. And I mean, we had Asia trend, so I wouldn't actually even be trading London ahead of NFP. I don't know what he was talking about. There's 5 setups. See here, I would have a short setup actually. There's an hourly gap. So we have our drawn liquidity, point of interest. There's a sweep too on the 15-minute chart. So if it's hard to follow right now, I'll just slowly go through it. So first of all, we have the gap here on the hourly chart. It's the highest gap. I saw somebody just join the stream. So welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a good morning. Anyways, yeah, this is the sweep on the 15-minute chart. Same time as we have the hourly fair value gap above. Dropping down to the 1-minute chart. Now we just need, we already have a CSD, a change in the state of delivery. We have inverse fair value gap and the fair value gap. So honestly, there's everything that I need to show right now. Oh, I mean, I could take it on paper. Do something like this. Let's just see if that works. And this is the model. It is ahead of 9:30 though. I want to see if 9:30 is going to deliver it. Scary trading ahead 9:30 though, because you never know if it's gonna, the volatility is gonna cause it to go back up or not. I see some more people just joined. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're all having a good morning. It's nice to get some more people in here. Yeah, this is 9:30 opening now. Let me remove the P&L to ticks. It's fake money anyway, we don't really care. Well, that did not work. Again, I would not be trading because of the range. I made that very clear at the start. So any trades I'm taking, if anyone is taking them too, just remember, don't actually take them with anything that's like that matters. I'm only taking them with paper money right now because it doesn't really matter. I'm really just taking them for fun. Technically this would be another no, it would not. I mean, there's still the same draw. my god. I'm looking at this. These cookies. Anyways. Let's see here. There's still... You still go short. I mean, like... That's unfortunate. You can still sell here. I just don't know if there's gonna be an entry from you, because I need another gap and inverse fair value gap. They made that new high. We have another change in state of delivery though, and I mean, yeah, probably gonna run down without. Alright, real quick, I'm gonna go back to the hourly chart and look at the dollar. So the dollar, I want to see if maybe it would have went lower from here, but it's started to push higher. So actually, with the dollar being bullish now, it looks like we're gonna change state of delivery here, but that means I would be more bullish on index and less bullish on gold. This is actually really good. Let's see how Tesla's doing, because I heard the whole Elon Musk thing. Yeah, it's actually opened higher. Elon Musk's ass is on fire. Oh yes. Okay. Nice. Hello? Hello? T-Wop, what's up? Alright, so it doesn't look like it's dropping, so I'm gonna see if I'm gonna keep this open on one of my screens, and then I'm gonna start maybe backtesting. I was waiting to see if we get more people in the stream before starting to backtest, but I mean, it's pointless for me to sit here and watch this price action. Anyways, real quick, let me go over the rules again. So, because I'm still trying. Yesterday I broke the rules. But first thing is, don't trade after large range trend sessions. So that's why we're not trading today, because of the large range throughout the day. Don't trade before CPI, FOMC, and FP releases, bank holidays, which I did yesterday. I have it in blue because I'm not too sure whether I want to follow this rule or not. Bank holidays, Monday, no news, allowable times trade. So 3 a.m. to 5 a.m., 9:30 to 12, and 1 to 3:45. So the first step is to figure out the drawn liquidity from hourly chart to a 4-hour chart, and then I trade in direction if there's one. So I have to ask myself where the hourly chart is trading to in the past 3 days. Is it consistently making new highs or lows? Then I say, what is the dollar doing? Are the biases lining up? Look for a 15-minute drawn liquidity, a 3-minute sweep. If midnight or 8:30 open needs to line up with the drawn liquidity, it does need to, so which means that we're going to mark out midnight 8:30 and make sure that if we're above both these levels, we're selling. If we're beneath both these levels, we're buying. If my drawn liquidity is a PD array, make sure all significant gaps have been mitigated unless you can sum them up to a higher time frame gap. It's mitigated. That's sort of what I was doing this morning. So if I go on the hourly chart, right, you have this gap here. That's been mitigated. And then if I go down on a lower time frame, there's a 15-minute gap up here. Because this is an hourly gap, I don't really need to see that gap all the way up there. I think I might be wrong, and that 15-minute gap, like this one, is okay. So because it's not inside the bigger fair value gap, maybe we do need to see price. I don't think so though. The rules just say I can use this instead of using the highest gap, which is the 15-minute one here. But yeah, this is one of those trends, or trends all day, and there's just no trading. You need a fair value gap, an inverse fair value gap, and a change state of delivery. So for real quick, once again, all that is we get something like a fair value gap that goes lower, a fair value gap but inverse the other direction that goes higher, and then we need to close beneath consecutive up close candles before making the highs. So that is the 920 candle and the 921 candle. So this would be an example of an entry of everything we would need to enter a trade after having the drawn liquidity and everything. Anyways, let me continue on. Also want to make sure I need to make a journal entry for Wednesday and Thursday, so I'll also be doing that sometime later too. It's probably what I'm gonna do next. So I'm gonna go through Monday. No, not go through. I'm gonna build the journal for Thursday and Wednesday while I'm on stream. Kind of start fresh from a new chart. But yeah, let me just take a second to check something before I start. Well, I have somebody that bought a Shopify option. He's confused. Where's Shopify gone? Okay. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna start fresh on a different layout. No, delete this account. Literally, the last 5 trades I've taken have all broken the rules. This is not good. Alright, let's go to Wednesday. Start at 3 a.m. I'm telling my buddy to close his option contract at 10:30, and he's so confused. He's like, at whatever price, and I'm just like, I repeat, 10:30. Sell at 10:30. He doesn't understand the macros. I think, yeah, we're probably gonna continue running higher and have a little reversal around 11, or we're just gonna continue going up all day. But after 10:30, most of the volatility is gonna be absent. So it'll just the options contracts will probably like get cheaper because there's less volatility. That's basically what I'm telling him. Anyways, let me continue with this. So we're gonna start from the daily chart. This is Wednesday's candle, and as I was looking this week, I was looking for a buy side. Some people might know. Or not, changing state delivery. Buy side liquidity. So my bias was higher, and if I go back to the trading plan, the questions we ask when we're figuring out where the drawn liquidity is where has the hourly chart been trading to in the past 3 days, consistently making new highs or lows. And as you can see, we are making new highs. So if we look at it from an hourly chart and we look at the past 3 days, it's fine. We've been obviously going higher, making new highs, getting closer to this buy side. So we also have what's called a market maker buy model, which is basically when something goes like this. It just goes down and makes a sell side curve in one direction, and then it runs higher in the opposite direction to the high. So basically it's a market maker buy model, and that's what we're having here. So that's the first thing I would note going into Wednesday is I'm only looking to buy. So next thing is I would note the midnight open. Why do I only have 2 indicators? Is this indicator gonna work? No, it's not gonna work. Okay. Alright, so we have midnight open. It's not anchored correctly. Alright. So midnight open was right here, and if our bias is bullish, we're only looking to buy, right? So we need to get underneath midnight open, and 3 a.m. doesn't really give us any of those opportunities. It does trade lower to touch midnight open, but I wouldn't be comfortable entering a position when we're above midnight open. We do have everything we need though for a trade. You know, once we close above this inverse, and then this gap, and we have that. Is that a 15-minute sweep? Yeah, it's a 15-minute sweep. All right. Yeah. So when I'm trading, one of the things I can look for is a 15-minute sweep. If I go back to the plan, we're looking for a draw on liquidity or 5 to 3 minute sweep. Actually, it should be 15-minute plus sweep. All right, and there's a number of things I can use. I can use the rejection block, which is the wick, basically the body to the low of that candle. There might be some hourly level I could use, another rejection block, and then maybe even the 4-hour consequent encroachment of that wick, so 50% of that wick. It doesn't actually come down and hit it. There's a number of things I can use. The main thing is the time. It's not like I'm randomly selecting something. It's the time that it happens at, which is 3 a.m. That's what's mostly important. Is that this sweep happens at around 3 a.m. It goes down beneath the midnight open, which is this faint gray dotted line. Also runs into a rejection block, which is, say, it's a 15-minute hourly rejection. It's actually, 15-minute hourly rejection block, whichever one you want to use. And then going down to 1 minute chart. So as we come down and we make our low, we sweep, we form an inverse fair value gap. So we have that there, inverse fair value gap. Then we have a fair value gap. And then the change in say delivery. So I would be waiting for it to close above here, but because it forms a new low at 314, I'm okay seeing it close when it gets above here. And then it needs to close above the inverse fair value gap. So we could have went long on something like this. 2RR. Not a bad trade. And if we were to entertain shorts, again, we're not shorting because the bias is higher. We have that bias liquidity up here we want to reach up to. But there Could be a short. When we take out on that Wednesday, we don't actually take out the high of the day, but we're gonna keep it in mind. And then it could be a shorting opportunity. Let me actually go ahead and journal this trade. Alright, I'm gonna take some screenshots. One thing to note is the previous day had a large trend, so I actually wouldn't even be trading. I just broke my rules again. I actually wouldn't even be trading here. But this is a trade. It's just that I wouldn't be trading because of the large trend. So I'm gonna get rid of everything. And then, yeah. I'm not gonna get rid of everything actually, but I'm still gonna make like a little bit of a summary of what happened throughout the day. Let me go forward. And yeah, a little weird day. Start on the daily chart. Actually, you know what? Let me just backtest the month of May. Continue doing that. I had stopped at Tuesday, I think. Let me see where I stopped. I think I had started logging. No. Huh. I guess not. Okay, whatever. No, yeah, I was logging them in my Discord. Okay, I have them now. So I had stopped at Monday, May 5th. Okay. So yeah, we are on Tuesday. Okay. Alright. So let me walk through what I'd be looking for if I was trading this day. First of all, I'd look at the economic calendar. So let me go on Forex Factory. Go over to calendar. I'm gonna select the month of May. We're trading on the 6th. So we can go from Sunday to Saturday by settings. Now we can see there's no news on Tuesday. There's FOMC the next day, so I would not be trading this day. I'm still gonna look at it. Alright, so let's see if there would be any setups. First of all, the bias for Tuesday, we reached up in above this high, which is something I was looking for. It had an initial rejection, came right back up into this fair value gap. Think about that high there on the lower time frame, right? That would be a sweep. So go to the hourly chart. Yeah, we'd have an hourly sweep, or actually 4 hour would be better. Yeah, we have a 4 hour sweep. So we've made a high into buy side liquidity. We've hit a fair value gap on the daily chart, and we have a 4 hour sweep, which we show evidence on the lower time frame that we want to displace from this area and go lower. Throughout the beginning of the week. Monday retraces, continues lower in the afternoon, and then kind of ends up moving sideways mostly. But then Tuesday starts off the day going lower. So I don't have a bias. It could still go higher, but I'm open to shorts, and I'm probably more interested in shorting price. But coming up into 3 a.m., there's not much for shorts. I mean, we've kind of trended lower. I wouldn't say this is a large trend. This is just a basic trend. So you can still look to trade. Beneath minute open, I'm only looking for buys. I just don't really see what the draw on liquidity could be here, because we already hit the previous day low, and I guess we did an hourly sweep, so we could use that as our draw on liquidity. And when you're looking at the draw on liquidity, if you're just kind of beginning, don't focus so much on figuring out all these things, being able to learn them and memorize them, because I do have some people that are new to trading that might be watching. So just focus on one, like pick one. If it's the previous day low, just stick with that one. If it's previous day low and high, stick with those. If it's the sessions high and lows, the overnight London lows or London highs, choose that one. Whatever your bread and butter is, and then go up from there. Start using sweeps later. It's hard to identify a sweep though. No, but mostly it's just about time. So yeah, we did sweep. Now on the 1 minute, after we sweep, this would have been 2 a.m., but there is a trade there. It's not within the time I trade. So now at 3 a.m., what I would need is, because we already have a higher time frame I draw on liquidity, I would probably wait for a smaller retracement, like a 5 minute, 3 minute sweep. And we do have like that short term low, but it's not a valid sweep. It needs to be 5 candles. Alright, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's a sweep, 5 candle sweep. So now I would need inverse fair value gap there. Change in day delivery might be tricky. I'm gonna need this one. I need price to close above here. Shit. Saw somebody else join the stream. Hello, Lewis. How you doing today? Did you just join? And yeah, so this is the inverse fair value gap. We need the same thing, but like basically a green candle creating this. So it looks like now we have a new low. So instead of using this change in state delivery, we can use this one. Basically, this is where I need price to close above. I need price to come all the way back up here, closing above all these down close candles. There's a bearish fair value gap, just inverse fair value gap. Okay, so we just inversed the gap. That means that we closed above it. So we've inversed this fair value gap. So this is the first sort of ingredient I need to get into a trade. This is the change in the state of delivery. So next step is to close above here. Again, we make a new low. So I'd be using this as my change in the state of delivery. Could use this as the inverse fair value gap. And we just kind of continue going lower. Now we have another draw. $15-minute sweep. Could be another hourly sweep. So we can look for more longs again. Get a 3-minute sweep there. Just don't have the inverse fair value gap. Oh. But yeah, it just continues to drop lower. So there wouldn't have been an entry. And it wouldn't have mattered anyway if there was an entry, because there's the Federal Reserve news tomorrow. So we wouldn't have been looking to trade. Anyways, as stated. So let's just go on to the next day. Again, the next day you're not trading until the news comes out. So midnight opening, one session, doesn't matter what it does. It doesn't really do much anyway. It just kind of moves sideways. And that's because of the news in the afternoon. Oh, oops. Let's go back. Alright, it's coming into the afternoon. Midnight opens up here. We're beneath midnight open. We're only looking to buy. We've came out and taken out the low of the day. So this is 1800. Low of the day. This is the morning lows. So the initial release is at 2, and then you have a press conference at 2:30. That kind of rolls out until 3:30. So we make a clear low of the day, even beneath this low. This is a previous day low, right? Previous previous day low, relative equal lows too. So there's lots of draws on liquidity here. Only other thing now would be get into the trade. But the press conference, I don't know if I should wait for the press conference or not. This is one of those things I'm gonna have to figure out on my own through time. But this is the inverse fair value gap, so I need to wait till it closes above here. You had the change in state of delivery right here, and then you have a fair value gap right there. Maybe inverse. So I'm not gonna do something like that. It's pretty stupid. I'm gonna wait till we get a lower price, maybe like 50% of that inverse, or I don't know, somewhere here. This seems like it's a little bit better. So you might not even. There you go. So it did fill me eventually. Oh my god. This wouldn't have been a bad trade to take. It's just, this is the thing, it's so, FOMC is so volatile, like it moves so much. It's hard to take that because that stop loss is 50 points. That's a huge stop loss. So yeah, we're to get in at the, and stop loss, I put it beneath this candle's low that made the inverse fair value gap, and I put it at these relative. So I mean, this is a really nice trade. It's just And you need to account for that volatility. And then the sweep happened on the hourly chart. Alright, and then obviously I'm sure could have let this ride. Yeah, it did come back one more time to the area I was looking for, and then could have continued to ride it. Anyways, I don't think there was anything. There is probably more opportunities, but I don't know if you could probably find another reason to get into a long at the end of the day. I bet you could, but it doesn't matter. We're not focused on that anymore. Let's now look at what the news is the next day. If it would let me. Oh, I didn't see it was open here. Trump speaking at 10 a.m. That's interesting. Might cause trouble. And there's 8:30 unemployment claims. It always is every Thursday, so that's normal. Let me actually keep that over here. And saw somebody else just join the stream. Welcome. I don't know. It says somebody did. I'm just welcoming you. Let's keep going. Okay, let's go to 3 a.m. No, we went to 4 a.m. a little too far. Alright. We're way above midnight open. Where is even midnight open? It's not why is it showing me? What's this dotted line here? Okay. I think that's just the price line. Alright, midnight opens right there. So we're bullish, alright? Wanted to go to previous day high. Because remember, way we determine bias, we ask ourselves where has the price been going in the past. Actually, that last trade I journaled should not have been journaled because the previous day had a large trend. So we would have ignored. Right? Wait a minute. No. We had a trend throughout the morning. That's Friday. Oh no, so we would have been fine. Yeah, we would have been fine. Right? Wait a minute. I'm so confused right now. That's 10. Where was... Oh, that was last week. Okay, that's why the price action wasn't the same. Okay, no, we didn't have a training day the previous day, so I can't trade that. Okay, keep going. Yeah, so one thing I don't like about this is how much the Asia session moved. Like this is 254 points. I would not be trading that. I would step out. And just let it kind of do its own thing here. 9:30. Let's see what happens at 9:30. Maybe actually, let's see if we can find a trade at 7. Because I will be trading ahead of 8:30 with my upcoming work schedule. I'll have to this month do some trading ahead of that 9:30 opening, but start at 7. The problem is I would be looking for a buy side. I wouldn't really be shorting right now. So, I mean, there wouldn't really be anything to do. Just wait till it gets beneath midnight open. So it got beneath midnight open. It's retraced into maybe an hourly fair value gap. Yeah, hourly fair value gap. There's no lower fair value gap that hasn't already been traded to. So we good. We have what we need for a draw. On 1 minute chart, just wait till we drop into there. There you go. No, we drew up into here. Change in state delivery would be up here. That's the consecutive down close candles that make the low at 10:55. We close above those right at 11:14. And then the inverse is here. And the fair value gap is down here. Alright, so you have everything you need to buy right at when we close above the change state delivery at 11:14. Now the question is, where do you get in? You could just buy the close, put your stop that low, and then go for 2 hour. That's like a very bad risk to reward though. I'd be having to hold something till the high of the day. I'd get in underneath this low, see if it's gonna come back down and sweep it. See, honestly, if it does something like this, stop. Let's just say it's here. Do something like that. This is really, really bad, by the way, because it's at a time where Trump is going crazy and price is just super volatile. Well, not too much, but I mean, you saw the Asian session, it was like 240 points. Also, I don't think I'd be trading because it did such a large trend, like 300 points overnight, and it backed down. It's a little scary to trade. But I mean, it doesn't even give me the opportunity to enter the trade. Once it closes up here, it doesn't come back down to fill me, so and then we actually hit the draw I was looking for, so now we can actually short. Yeah, I guess this wasn't really a trend. It kind of was, to be honest. Both sessions trended. So, but let's just entertain the idea if we were to trade. The things here changed in say delivery would, I mean, we could say here. We don't have an inverse fair value gap though. Now we do. I don't know. Doesn't really look. This doesn't look good at all. So I wouldn't do anything. Simply because Asia trended, and then at midnight you have your London session also trended, and 6 a.m. New York starts, and then that went all the way back down, and we had a huge move in the morning that didn't give us any entry. So I think it's safe to say it's like done moving now. Let's go to the next day, Friday. This is how our daily chart looks like. Got above that high. saw too much. I think this is this NFP? No, we don't have NFP here. It looks, no, we don't. Let me look that 7 o'clock session real quick. Alright. There's this hourly gap up here that my eye spots. That's a 15-minute chart though. Technically we don't really need to go up there. Okay, I'm gonna use this order block. That's my draw on liquidity. We're above midnight open. We do have a 5-minute sweep and a 3-minute sweep. Well, first actually let's wait until we get into our, oh wow. Our level 725, the kind of went crazy. What happened at 725? GG's, what the? What is this? Okay, interesting. Well, we're back beneath midnight open and the weekly open. So actually we can buy. I just need to figure out what the draw on liquidity was. So right here, relative equal lows, that's one of them. Hourly chart. Hello? My Wi-Fi is some booty cheeks right now. Oh, and look that there's an hourly fair value gap. So we have enough draws. Let's go to 1 minute. Alright, here's where things get interesting. Change in state delivery is gonna happen right here if it goes up. So let's first wait for that. So we close above it, above the consecutive down close candles to make the low. And then there's no inverse fair value gap. There is a fair value gap. So I just need an inverse fair value gap now. And we don't have one. We don't even get one. There's no way I don't get an inverse fair value gap. There you go. There was finally one. But the thing is, it's been going on for so long that I would probably wait for another sweep on the 3-minute chart. So we do get a sweep right there. Talking about with this low, that's a sweep. Okay, change in the state delivery here. And this is fair value gap. And an inverse fair value gap. So that's everything I need to buy. Let's go back here. And buy right there. Aim for there, I guess. If we do this. Wow. Wants to take forever. There you go. What? No. Go back here. There you go. This would have worked. Not bad. And then, yeah, let me make sure. The only thing I just realized is midnight open. We're actually above midnight open, so but the draw on liquidity happened. It went down. So this is one thing is wherever my draw on liquidity is, can be beneath midnight open. It needs to be beneath midnight open, but do I need the entry to be above or beneath midnight open? So yeah, in this case, because we didn't have the inverse fair value gap, we couldn't get long down here at earlier in the morning to wait till 8:30 to get long. We're way above where we wanted to initially start looking for price to go higher, and we had the other sweep to kind of let us get into another trade, but that sweep did not happen beneath the midnight open, which is the gray dotted line. So that's still something I'm trying to figure out. To be honest, I don't think this trade would have been worth it, so I'm gonna ignore it for now. I mean, I don't know, the entry is just so far above midnight open, the sweep happened so far above midnight open, I wouldn't try and mess with it. But we still have more opportunities. I mean, there's the high of the day that we can look for. Again, if anyone's looking at this model and wants to trade it, focus on one thing, like start with the previous day high or low, and then you can move on and add more things as you're drawing liquidity. But right now we're above midnight open, like our long-term targets, so we can go short. There's the order block again. This could be another draw. I would need to pair that with a sweep though. So 9:30 does sweep this high on the 5-minute. So up here we've got inverse fair value gap, we've got a fair value gap. Okay, so I color code all my things, so the fair value gap's color coded in blue. The fair value gaps that go down are color coded in red or pink, and then change state of delivery. Change in the state of delivery is going to be the CST right here. We close beneath all the up close candles at 9:43, so we can go short from 9:43. I would probably try and go short. Let's just pick something random. It doesn't really matter where. You can press the sell button as soon as we close at 9:44. But let's just say I waited a bit. Let me just go enter on this candle. Something like that. No, it's not gonna work. It might actually still work. Wow. It did one of those. So technically my stop should be up here. In like a real, if I was actually trading, I would have probably waited to get in either here with a stop right there, or I would have gotten in probably, to be honest, above that. Let's say the first thing that came to mind was that fair value gap. The only thing I would have probably gotten stopped out. My stop would have needed to be at least up here, and I would have gotten stopped out. But I mean, like, the logic is still there. Like, the trade obviously still does work. It's just it would have been unfortunate. Would have gotten stopped out up here, and that happens sometimes. Let's keep going. There could be more. Now we're beneath midnight open, so we could start look for buys. We've taken out the current low of the day. Changing the state of delivery would happen up here. We've taken out previous day low, so this is one of the things you could use now. Actually, not previous day low, but this is a significant low. No, this is the current day low. It was formed Thursday 8 o'clock. So we made a new daily low. That's your draw on liquidity. You can now look for the 3 things you need to get into a trade. Inverse fair value gap, we have it at 10:35. Fair value gap 10:48. Just need to change in the state of delivery right here. So once we close above that, you can start to look to buy. There you go. Now again, you can just buy up here. and then go for like a 2 RR. And it's obviously bad risk to reward, so let me drop down a little bit. Maybe like right there. Something a lot less crazy. I mean, even, yeah. I mean, even that is crazy. I don't know. I'd rather wait for 3-minute sweep because this is just really bad risk reward. Oh my god, the Wi-Fi. Okay. Okay, here you go. There's another sweep right there. We swept that low on 3-minute chart. We have a change in state of delivery right here. Inverse or value gap. We've got that. We got, oh, this is way better actually. This looks like a really, really nice trade. Right there. Let's do the inverse or value gap. See how this works. Oh, if that does not work. Okay. So let's see here. Yeah, that would not have worked. Well, it worked for a little bit and then it would have lost. I mean, I don't think there's any really. Oh, Friday. Yeah, no. There's nothing I really did wrong here. It just ended up not working. So today would have been not a good day. Would have had 2 losses. Can we just pause real quick? Check something.
you.